If there was a book about rare shadow plants,
Read the plant. The plant has evolved over thousands of years.
you better bet it would highlight some botanical beauties.
And that's the sign of a healthy plant that, has the correct amount of illumination.
In this episode, we're going to shine light on some spectacular species for your lower lit areas. Well, hi everyone, I hope you're doing super well. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Kevin, and these are some of my plants. I want to talk to you guys today, though, about shadow plants. These are rare plants that happen to thrive in lower light conditions or tolerate them much better than most rare plants. In order to get the inside scoop on this, I ended up going over to the Flora Foundry in Denver to talk with Nicholas Ho, the owner and horticulturist.
So like one of the best catalysts that I would say for identifying a plant that could be great in low light levels is, obviously read the plant. The plant has evolved over thousands of years with darker pigments to absorb more radiation in lower light conditions. Those plants are going to be great for it. You know how you push light, you're fine with that. And some of those options, the Pluto is really great. Until it reaches maturity, it's going to do great in lower light. And then once it reaches maturity, I find that you'll notice the internodal spacings will elongate. And then at that point, they will need a little more light, but you got a year and a half till that happens. So that's a great plant for low light. The Atapuenses, it has a darker pigmented foliage, and that's going to do great in lower light conditions. As well as a lot of the self-heading Philodendron, the Macaulay spinal, the black cardinal. These are all obviously used in office spaces throughout the world and in office buildings with low light, and their dark pigment shows that, as well as their internodal spacing shows that. But like most philodendrons, there is like a curve of maturity to light demand. So as that plant reaches about a year and a half, 2 years, the light demands will change a little. As the plant matures, they have higher fertilization demands and light requirements. And it's up to us as growers to meet those demands and read that plant. And that's why I think if we choose a plant for a low light condition, we still need to be observant to its internodal spacing, making sure that plant is growing compact and isn't starving or reaching for light. Also, too, if you're noticing your plant bending heavily within a 24-hour period from one side to the other, that is also a good indication of directionally maybe not having adequate illumination, or maybe just overall intensity is a little low, too, I think. Really good dark colored philodendron that I think does okay in low light until it reaches maturity. I often will grow the bicolor and no direct lighting, just completely indirect artificial lighting, which is very low lighting, and their internodal spacing stays very tight, which is nice. A lot of the Ecuadorian varieties, as we were talking about, do really well in low light too, as they've evolved to grow in heavy jungle shade. We could look at the Tinu over here with one T8 above it, and no real direct lighting to speak of. The T8 is very minimal, and we could check the internodal spacing here on this plant. It's very compact, very tight. You couldn't even put your pinky in between if you wanted to, and that's the sign of a healthy plant that has the correct amount of illumination. But as we take a look at something that might have Syngonian mojito, you're never going to give this thing enough light. Your internodal spacing here is a lot more elongated, and this plant can definitely do with more light, as well as it's variegated, and that comes with its own triggers and its own necessities to maintain. And mojitos and really anything mint, I think, is on the other side of the spectrum from low light and tends to be hard to maintain variegation, as well as there's other triggers in there too, like temperature, that need to be maintained to get the color you're looking for. So jumping topic here with the Syngonian mojito, since we're here, this plant is one that is literally a seasonal variegation, in my humble opinion. We can see the leaves up here at the top are very green. These grew in probably over the fall with low light and lower temperatures, but once the temperatures come up in the spring, and we got 80 degrees and your lighting's good, the newest leaves will come back variegated without any kind of trimming back or cutting. And I often see just variegated babies pop up from the base here, as soon as the temperature gets up to snuff there, and the plant feels, like it's got enough temperature, enough light to maintain that color. I speak of what I know, and my Anthurium knowledge only goes back, with velvety South American Anthuriums that aren't like wide scale ornamental production Anthuriums like the Adramedium. I don't have over 2 years experience growing velvety Anthurium. I speak of what I know. In my 2 years experience with Anthurium, there are a lot that are lower light plants, but we can still see those same internodal elongations. And there's when we're talking low light plants, if you're not covering the lighting aspect of things, I also assume you might not be covering the airflow, air quality, and humidity side of things as well. When we talk about low light plants, we talk about low maintenance plants. And Anthurium are a little more on the other side of the spectrum. They're going to need a little better air quality. They're going to need better air movement. And they're also going to need a little higher humidity, maybe, depending on the Anthurium. I think that can go back and forth depending on which cultivar we're talking about. But the Magnificum here and the Crystallinum are two of the easier ones, and I grow those at 40% humidity. But I'm a big proponent of air quality and air movement. I think you could do really well in lower humidity and okay light as long as you cover air movement and air quality. I think oftentimes I'll see a lot of indoor greenscaped areas that are well illuminated and well humidified, but you'd be surprised how little airflow there actually is in the room. And those plants will inevitably be longer, not as supported, not as rigid, and they're just not going to hold themselves up as well as they should, because in nature that's not how things go, and they get roughed around quite a bit in nature, and that kind of stress is a positive stressor for these plants.
That is some super fascinating stuff there, and there are so many beautiful rare plants that will do so much better in low light conditions. So for a full, more comprehensive look at this, please head to my website at plantswithkevin.com. Within the article on my website regarding shadow plants, you'll find plenty of different options and resources available to certain species and how you care for them in particular. I want to thank you guys so much for watching another one of my videos, and if you haven't already, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you can see more fun and interesting planting content just like this. I'll see you guys in the next video.